An amazing day, haven't we, guys? Yeah. I'm going to go around and speak to them now and find out where they've come from. Are we live? Yes, I think we are. I talk to lots of people on social media all day. I'm often on Twitter and Facebook, etc. And then these people turn up and it's just magic. And I just would love to meet you all because I'm going to go around the room now and you can find out who these people are, what they've learned today, and why it's so exciting to meet people with such a strong mission, vision, passion for new media and the difference that they can make. So let's go around the room now. So I'm going to double tap. We're at the studio, a design studio here, which I use. Come on, double tap. These things are going wrong. There we go. I just said, didn't I? If the live goes wrong, you can delete it. First of all, this gentleman now, Hugh. What you said to me when you came in, why did you come along? You're an incredible chap, actually, because you're a whistleblower, aren't you?
Yes, I don't particularly like the term whistleblower. I was simply doing my job when I raised concerns about patient safety, as it happens.
You can you just briefly say as much as you can about what you did in terms of whistleblowing and the other organisations you belong to, and how important this kind of new media is? People call it social media, but I see it as being far more powerful than that. And I've spoken to before about Jan Cruikshank, who came on a workshop before. We did a video that reached 1 million people on Twitter, and then it was picked up by a journalist called Marcello Mega. Now, Jan Cruikshank had been raped by a senior colleague. She lost her job and been called a liar. And then now she's got a payout and an apology, £50,000 payout. How did that happen? Through social media, really. And that's what hopefully we can do for you and for others. So you're connected with other whistleblowers. So give us your contact details and how people can get hold of you.
I do have a Twitter presence. Do you want the Twitter handle?
Yes, please.
At Hugh, HUGH,
And are you going to tell us, hopefully you're going to tell me your story at some stage, because you did this morning. How much are you able to say now?
I don't really want to talk about my own personal story at this stage. I think it would be premature. But I do want to say that I have met a lot of people who've had similar experiences to me. And the phenomenon of retaliation by organisations in the public sector, the NHS, let's face it, in particular, the retaliation against staff who suffer reprisals after raising concerns when they're simply doing their job, protecting patients and similar matters. It's just extraordinary, and it's really important, I think, that workshops such as today provide ordinary people like me, with an opportunity, with a platform to tell stories, to try to allow whistleblower voice to be heard. But in a way which doesn't happen in other settings. So, well done, Anna. Thank you.
Well, I see it, as something like Jimmy Savile, for example, that was covered up with the BBC for so many years. There's no way that would happen now. No way. We're living in a different era, aren't we? I'm going to shuffle around because I'm tired, so I can stay sitting down. Thank you so much. But yeah, we are living in a different era now, aren't we, where the truth is being exposed. I've always said that, really. But we're not just doing journalism and talking to whistleblowers, we're doing marketing as well and filmmaking. Paul?
We're doing marketing and filmmaking. Hello, I'm Paul McMahon. I've had such a great day today learning how to give a voice to people who want to get their message out in this fantastic world of new media. There's so much opportunity for communication to take place, and everyone has a story. So it's wonderful to help people and participate in making this magic happen. It's an untapped gold mine, and everyone needs to be involved. And everyone has a voice, and everyone's voice is equally as important. We want to get all those messages out there as best we can. And also, tune into my radio show on GTFM, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Saturday mornings.
I love this. You're based in Pontypridd, aren't you? And what would you call it? A community radio station? It's run by lots of volunteers.
Yes.
And it's really valuable service, isn't it, to the people?
Oh, it's great. We have such a good time making radio. I absolutely love it. There's about 50 volunteers that work for GTFM. There's a variety of different shows to listen to. There's something for everybody. There's all kinds of local news, and it really does give local people a real sense of community and cohesion and even purpose in a world that can feel very isolated these days.
And I'll make sure I tag you and you comment on this post so we can connect with you, okay?
Yes, please.
Right, let me move over here. What do you want to say, my friends?
I'd just like to say I've really, really enjoyed the course today. I've had a basic knowledge. I work in marketing. We provide social media services within the business, but the video part of it is something that I hadn't really looked into properly, and absolutely loved it today. Learnt the basics, learnt how to develop the skills there, but also the group today has really enriched the whole learning process. Learning about the different stories, meeting the guys. And
It's been really good fun, hasn't it?
It has.
And you brought so much to it with all your experience and knowledge in marketing.
Well, I've been in the game for a fair while now, I suppose, but then you can only work with the content that you've got, and you know what the guys were talking about today, their backstories and their beliefs are really, really strong and empowering, so it gives you that little extra, doesn't it? So thank you, Anna, and thoroughly recommend anybody who wants to learn more about video editing, get on this course. It's
Really
a must
kind.
do.
Thank you so much. Right, let's finally move on to Barry now. What an interesting chap you are, Barry. I know we were supposed to finish 5 minutes ago, but I've filmed some content. You're a street preacher. You've come all the way from Littlehampton. I said, well, why didn't you come to my London course? You didn't want to come to London, did you?
No, I didn't. I don't like London anymore, and I'm a city boy. I was born there, I was raised there for the first 15 years of my life. I avoid it as much as possible. I'm a country boy, really.
But you had a very glamorous career as a hairdresser in Mayfair, London. Now you're a street preacher. But you were a hairdresser by trade.
Yeah.
You nearly joined the church. You were nearly ordained. But now I just because I know people are terrible in terms of watching this for a long period. I really want to just concentrate on the last few years. And you say you stand in in the street in the shopping areas of Littlehampton talking to people.
Yeah.
And you've been saying people have really struggling at times, but you feel that Jesus would be out in the streets rather than in a church. So tell me a little bit about that.
He certainly would have been out in the streets. He would have been where people are, where they congregate. So that, actually, in contemporary terms, it might have been in the pub. Really, I mean, taught in the synagogue, of course, we know that. But he was where people are. And that's where we need to be, actually, because we are the church. It's not the building. It's not the bricks and mortar and the pointy roof and the steeple and the bell. We are the church. And that's the message we want to get out. It's about a relationship with the living God. It's not about religion. We hate religion. Jesus hated religion. That's why he socked it to the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Aren't you embarrassed standing there doing it when people walking past?
I'm more embarrassed about being here because I'm a technophobe, which is why I'm doing the course, because I know I can have more reach. And if I'm, say, I want to be in a more teaching mode for the small groups that we belong to, we're attached to, so that I can communicate personally to help people in their faith. But also, really, really importantly, in the last 4 years, which have, let's face it, what's unfolded for the nation and the world, I've never met so many people who are lonely, distressed, sick, drugged up, boozed up. People are at a loss. I've never hugged so many strangers in the street ever. And if you said to me 4.5 years ago, you'll be doing that, I would have said, no, I don't think I will. I think you're crazy. But there's such a demand for people to be held, to be hugged, to be supported, and to have a sense of life is worth living. We were given life. He gave us life, and he wanted to have it, us to have it abundantly. There isn't a politician on the planet who can actually do that. Only Jesus can do that for us. So my message is, you'd expect me to say this, really, wouldn't you, is to invite Jesus into your life, because he's the answer to everything, and his word you can rely on. We talked today about truth, relative truth, the real truth. Jesus is the truth, and he's the only way to the Father. That's my message.
Thank you very much. Well, and I think the media has an important role to play in how people's mental health. I do. In society, and the feeling of isolation and loneliness that you've witnessed obviously over the last few years, because we are the media now, aren't we, guys?
Apparently.
Are we the media?
I'm going to be.
Are we the media?
We are the media.
We've had a great time. Right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And We're going home now.
Have a great weekend.